Let me guess. You're constantly battling the unique demands of shift work, aren't you? Feeling relentless fatigue, brain fog, or the health challenges that come with those irregular hours. Well, it's time to stop just surviving your shifts and really start thriving. At A Healthy Shift, we're revolutionising workplace wellbeing for 24/7 teams. As a veteran shift worker for over 40 years, I know exactly what you're up against, and that's why we've built something truly groundbreaking, the seminar experience. Now, this isn't just a keynote, it's a completely new evidence-based program which is designed to empower entire shift-working workforces. I want you to imagine your team armed with the strategies to optimise their sleep, boost their energy, and elevate their health, no matter what schedule they're on. Our core keynote is powerful, but we also offer specialised add-on workshops, which cover deep dives into women in shift work, how to work your own roster optimally, as well as fatigue management for managers. We need your help to bring this transformation to your workplace. Managers want to invest in their teams, but they need to know that we exist. Are you ready to bring real, lasting change to your colleagues and your organisation? Go and visit ahealthyshift.com. That's ahealthyshift.com and follow the seminar experience link up the top, where you can download our detailed e-brochure, or you can simply follow the link in the show notes. Let's help your workforce thrive, not just survive.
Anytime you're ready. Look at that. Time as one job. Could have put it at a 30-second ad in there. 133 You made me laugh. The wonderful Roger Sutherland joins us every couple of Monday mornings.
Monday
mornings, thank you. Roger Sutherland, A Healthy Shift. Nice to see you.
How's your Monday-itis going?
Monday's probably the trickiest in some respects, because you come out of that Sunday, and I got it, with the brother and a couple of people. We were watching the footy yesterday.
Yes.
And then you go for the rest for an hour and a half and 2 hours.
I heard Ross mention on the radio during the week here on 3OW in Melbourne. Oh, excuse me. He said, is it mind over matter Sunday nights going into Monday morning?
Probably is, really.
Negative. No, it's not mind over matter.
You don't think it is?
No, it's circadian misalignment is what it is. There's the answer for Ross. A lot of the reason why we really struggle early on a Monday morning is because what do we do on Saturday morning and Sunday morning?
I've heard you say that we readjust our sleep pattern.
Yeah, we do. Yeah. And then when it comes to Monday, of course, we can't go to sleep because we've conditioned ourselves to staying up even that little bit later, and we'll talk about daylight saving time a bit later on. But then when you go to get up, or you can't go to sleep, like I did not sleep well at all last night. I knew I was getting up for the show this morning, and subconsciously I created my own sleep anxiety.
But you're always up early anyway.
I am, yeah.
That's why we do it this time of the morning, because you prefer this time of the morning than dinner, because you'll go off now for a swim after.
Yeah, after the show I'll head straight to the pool.
Which you do anyway.
Do my swim. Yes, I do that anyway.
Every day.
But there's a reason why I do that, T-Mac, and the reason why I do that is because it keeps me in a rhythm and a routine, and that is how I've really, really thrived. In fact, I've been watching my stats, my heart rate monitor, and also my breath rate since December, since I started really swimming 5 days a week. I've lowered my breath rate to 12 breaths a minute. Now, you might think, what does that mean? But a lot of people would breathe probably around 16, 17 breaths a minute, but I've made a conservative effort to really slow my breath rate right down. And also, my heart rate is now sitting, and for someone who's 61, my heart rate is sitting at around 50 to 51 beats per minute as well. That's low, like for a 61-year-old. So while we're sitting here and we're talking away...
Does that move up, down?
During the day it does.
During the day.
Yeah, but we're talking the average resting heart rate is around 50 beats. So there'll be times when it's lower while I'm sleeping.
How do I find out what mine is when I'm sitting here behind this microphone for 5
Well,
hours?
a lot of people do it through actigraph watches and things like that. Speaking of watches, you'll probably find the F1 drivers are wearing body monitoring. They're probably monitoring their vitals.
I don't think he'd be wearing
feeding
his...
it. No, and feeding it back to the team. It would be. I noticed it myself, to be honest. I did see it on the glove, and I looked at it and I thought, no, it'll be an actigraph. It'll be monitoring all of his vitals, his heart rate, because they would be contributing all of that into what they're actually doing, I would suggest. I wear the Oura Ring, which monitors my breath rate, monitors my heart rate.
Because it's a wrong song, but because he auras my ring, because he wears... What was the song? Because she wears a ring. Johnny O'Keefe song. Yeah. Because she wears an Oura Ring. Yeah. What's an Oura Ring?
Oura Ring is it's Oura, Oura. It's a really small, lightweight ring which is full of electronics, and it actually
looks like something you take off a Sturmy.
No, it's actually really small and light. It's very stylish. Instead of wearing your Apple Watch, which they go flat, you're even wearing the Galaxy Watch and things like that from Samsung. These things can go flat, whereas the Oura Ring will last for like 7 days. There's a plug, but Oura are fantastic. It's stylish. The data that it spits out is incredible.
We will get back to that in just a moment. For those that don't know, Roger Sutherland is from A Healthy Shift after spending 40 years. How many?
40.
40 years with VicPol, Victoria Police, and now works very closely with shift workers all around Australia. And we invite him in every couple of weeks on the program Australia Overnight. Gavin, good morning.
Hey, Marty. You were talking about Jerry's before.
Yeah, the very famous Jerry's.
Jerry Springer and Tom and Jerry.
Tom and Jerry were mentioned. Jerry Springer, what a crazy program that was, Gav.
It was, and how he's talking about shift work. Well, I do shift work, night shift all my life for 40 years, driving trucks.
That is incredible. 40 years, that's how long I did in the cops. That's a long, long time.
Yeah, and night shift is the best way to do it because the trucks run better. And as my uncle would say, the kangaroos have got a bit more brains than some people in cars.
Well, that's very true. How disruptive was it in terms of your lifestyle, though, Gav?
I've been single most of my life, and the missus I've got now, I told her I'm a truck driver, and I'm hardly ever home and work at night, and she's never tried to change me.
Jerry, I find it interesting. You said the trucks run more efficiently. So you notice a big difference between driving overnight and driving during the day? Not that you've driven during the day for 40 years, but is it because it's cooler and you're not stopping and starting all the time?
Yes, and the temperatures are a lot cooler for the tyres, so they don't get as hot, and you're not blowing tyres all the time. And it's a lot cooler than that for the trucks.
Much more pleasant.
It runs better.
Much more pleasant driving at night too, isn't it, when there's no one else around?
Hell of a lot more pleasant.
And you get to listen to T-Mac during the week.
Well, there's that. That's the downside, Gav, isn't it?
No.
Good on you.
Awake.
Good on you, Gav. Thank you very much. Very kind of you. Brett, good morning to you.
Hello.
Hello, Brett.
Well, yeah, Gary, how are you?
We're well, thank you.
I think both Marky Isbell and your guest there need to go to Specsavers.
I've been to Specsavers.
Because
what can I say?
Why? What are we missing?
Okay. Mark said they're wearing a watch while racing the Formula Ones. It is not. They are sponsored by IWC.
They are.
The glove has a print of a watch on the glove.
Yeah.
So they do not wear a watch at all. It is just a print on the glove.
Yeah.
Yep.
And so you don't think that would even be a piece that is monitoring any...
No, it's purely printed on the glove, like a sponsorship print.
Yeah. Just to promote the brand.
And that makes sense too, doesn't it?
They've got all their sponsors on their race suit. They've got it printed on their glove.
Yeah, and it's right in view too, isn't it? So you can actually see it, so it works well for the sponsor.
It's where you would normally wear a watch on your
correct.
wrist.
Yep.
Yeah.
That makes sense.
Yeah. As for your thing being a monitor,
yep.
No, it's purely a printed thing. They would the drivers would have heart monitors and that sort of thing. And maybe even what you were saying about one of those Oura Ring things, because
could do.
They would be
or a Whoop band. They might wear a Whoop band or something like that as well.
Yeah, as you said yourself, they're quite small,
Yep, non-obtrusive.
Exactly. So, and they would measure that sort of stuff. But I just thought, mate, not so much you there, old mate, but I think Marky needs to go to Specsavers.
Thank you, Brett. Thanks, Brett. That's very
well
funny.
Done, Brett.
That's very funny. Well, that sort of makes sense to me.
Well, you would think that their suits would have high-tech. I mean, let's face it, the cars are the most high-tech things that you can get. You would imagine the suit that the driver wears would probably have inbuilt monitoring for everything at the same time. And when they plug the helmet in, you'll probably find they're plugging in the body monitoring equipment at the same time for that. Super important data for him to get. Do you remember the Oz Open this year as well? Whoop, two of the players were wearing Whoop bands and got called up on that.
They did.
And Whoop in America went into an absolute meltdown around it because of the how dare you take our Whoop band off when it's no advantage.
And the sponsorship with those very high-end watch companies is really quite extraordinary in that certainly I noticed it more so than any before with the Australian Open. As soon as they come off the court as a winner, and hat, and their watch goes on out of their bag straight onto the wrist.
Yeah, well, see, and someone's telling them this is what happens. Here's your watch, here's your cap. You notice even the AFL footballers straight after the grand final, bang, on with the cap, sponsors caps, everything goes on. People are telling them, you've got to wear this, you've got to be putting that. Companies pay a fortune to have this stuff seen, don't they? Because we are here talking about it now. What watch does Oscar Piastri wear?
Which watch is he wearing? Tone, yesterday, The Age, Alistair Clarkson. What brand was Alistair wearing? Well, I didn't see it from yesterday. Another one says, how could a car driver wear a watch at his glove?
They've got no time on their hands.
They've got no time on their hands. Thank you, Phantom. The watches are printed on the glove, which is essentially what everybody's saying. Former Hawthorn coach John Kennedy coached Stall. Is that right? At some point, I did not know that.
I think do.
That's a great point. It's a picture of the watch on the glove. Thank you. And yes, Clive Palmer. What is he truly up to? Because there's advertising both in the papers. He backed Clive Palmer doing that advertising, and he said he was going out of it.
There'll be a reason.
You can back that in. Your calls the other side. Roger Sutherland from A Healthy Shift. And have we got a question that we'll ask just after the news at 5?
Oh, yeah.
Not to be missed.
I'm excited about this
because you will definitely want to contribute the idea of it and have a view about it, have an opinion about it. And it's a movement that may start and there'll be momentum around it.
Oh, there will for sure. There's no doubt about it. It's always talked about in science, so let's get the...
There is in science. I tell you what, this is why we love the audience around Australia.
Yes.
They're extraordinarily switched on to the little things that people notice, and I certainly haven't noticed. For example, Ian's telling us all George Russell gloves pictured show the same time, where it's set at 10:09.
And we know why that is, don't we?
Well, it displays, and that's why
the hands on either side of the middle.
12, yeah.
Yep.
And so even in catalogues and things, you'll usually see that same position.
I thought it was 10 past, but he says 9. Maybe it's more.
Well, it's going to be 9, 10. 9 or 10 past. I think usually it is 10 past.
Yep.
10 past 10.
10 past 10.
You've got
so it shows the hands on opposite sides of the 12 to display the watch.
Yeah, and watch photos usually have that same shape. Every brand will use that because it just showcases their product, if you like.
It does.
I love that Ian's picked that up so beautifully, and it's even on the glove in the racing car.
Yeah, I've not noticed that. Yeah, I must admit, my eye was drawn to the watch. Obviously, it's and I thought, God, that's weird. And then I realised, but obviously didn't look at it close enough. I need to go to Specsavers.
Roger swims. Tony Mac, why don't you go for a swim, do 20, 30 laps after work?
I do 30 after. I'll do 30 when I finish here. I've been doing 30 laps 5 times a week at the moment. Oh, I'm loving it. I'm absolutely loving it.
Life-changing?
The black line of meditation is so good. What I don't understand, I do not understand these people that put these bone-conducting speakers on, where when you're swimming, like they don't sit in your ear, they sit bone-conducting and you can hear music or a podcast or whatever. I don't understand why you would do that. Don't get me wrong. But
for the swim.
The swim is all about that time for you. Quietly focusing on the breath. And what I'm doing is I'm actually working, to get technical, I'm working on my CO2 tolerance at the moment, which is your carbon dioxide tolerance. So I'm really controlling the breath and holding it for as long as I can. And what it does is it helps to manage stress in your system because your body doesn't panic. We all breathe far too shallow.
Same for men and women?
Yes, exactly right. Yeah. So what happens is whatever you're doing now, we should be breathing through our nose. We've all become very shallow mouth breathers, right?
Oh, there's a lot of mouth breathers.
Oh, yeah.
There's a lot of mouth breathers.
Yeah, there is. There's a lot. But, I know we, even in the police and nurses will say, oh, all the mouth breathers, and we use it as a derogatory term. But they are the worst offenders because of the stress, because our breath is actually what informs our stress. It's not the other way around. So, yeah.
25 years after growing up in Melbourne, and then the great Shane Healy invited me to join them at 6PR in Perth, for which I was most grateful back in 1999.
The famous 6PR, yep.
And so 25 years working in that area. What I learned about very, very quickly is how important fly-in, fly-out is in the state of Western Australia. And I think in Queensland, not so much anywhere else. No. But those two states in particular.
It's very unique state, West Australia, and I want to talk to the West Australians and say thanks to the FIFO people.
Well, they'll be still listening through
driving
6PR.
Around listening through 6PR in Perth, and anyone else that's doing FIFO as well. I delivered training this week into 2 resource companies in West Australia to educate their fly-in, fly-out staff on strategies around shift work. Now, I think this is something that we need to do a lot more of, because the Act, like in WA, you've got the the Work Health and Safety Act, whereas here it's the Occupational Health and Safety Act. Now, with that, what we do is we put controls in place.
Who's we?
The law. The law.
Okay,
The statutory law that's got controls in place that says you've got to lift this safely, you've got to move that there, you've got to store this the particular way. But who's educating shift workers on how to go about shift work? Because it's very unique. And in fact, in the Work Health and Safety Act in WA, it actually addresses FIFO, and it addresses work groups and night shift work groups. So who's educating them on how to come into, how to go through, how to come out of the night shift? And you raised a really, really valid point as well. It's so unique in the way that what we do is they go away for a week. It interrupts the family life. They go away for a week.
Sometimes longer than a week.
Yeah, sometimes. 2 weeks. They can go away for a week of days and a week of nights, or a week of nights and a week of days.
Come back for a week and then out again.
So who's educating them and teaching them on strategies around how to manage family life around that as well? Because I think employers have got an obligation around that under the Act, right? So this is where it becomes interesting as to...
But do employers, have they grasped that as part of their responsibility?
Well, I'm not sure that they have, and I'm going to go on a bit of a thing about it at the moment to say, you realise you've got a statutory obligation here. Remember, we go back to law. Parliament sets the laws. So what's going to happen if some young fella is doing a week away on FIFO and has flown in and out of their mine up the north, comes home, gets in a car, drives home, has an accident, has a crash, and someone from WorkSafe goes, so what education did you have around how to get out of that night shift and come through? And he goes, I've never been taught anything about that. Yeah. And that is going to leave a door wide open for civil litigation.
Rhys says, I do 60 laps, 5 o'clock, Gosford Pool 5 times a week. 60.
Is that in a 25 metre or a 50 metre pool? That's a hell of an effort.
But done it for the past 10 years. Got to go, Reese. Good on you, Reese. Thank you for that. 133693 is our telephone number. Roger Sutherland's here. You won't want to miss it. We're going to ask a couple of questions just after the news at 5. You won't want to miss it. You will want to have your say. Jump on board. 133693 is our telephone number. I'm Tony McManus. Roger Sutherland is here. He runs a little thing called A Healthy Shift, where we talk about the life and challenges of working shift work wherever you are, whenever you've done it, or whether you're thinking about doing it, or you've loathed it or loved it. 133693. And the other thing that's come up is in relation to... well, you set it up for the listeners because I think this is an important question that needs to be asked, and I'd love to gauge the reaction from your proposition.
Okay, so...
Oh, and I should point out, Ross and Russ are listening down the line. They're at Castlemaine.
They're at Castlemaine.
Castlemaine.
Yeah, what a lovely place to be this morning.
Because I was going to say Castlemaine. I've been told.
No,
it's
not
Castlemaine. It's Castlemaine.
Castlemaine. Yep, It is indeed. Our friend of the show, and we've spoken to her, Dr. Olivia Walsh, the circadian scientist. We spoke to her, and she has written a blog that talks about, should we stay on summertime permanently or should we stay on standard time permanently? Now, it's a fascinating blog to read because it poses the question. Now, you know, people are divided when it comes to summertime. And you spent a lot of time in Perth where they don't have the time switching.
When I was there, they did have did a trial for a couple of years, maybe 3 years.
Faded the curtains.
It faded the curtains.
Yep.
So and the cows wouldn't milk.
And the cows were...
Oh, it was dreadful.
But it actually, literally, has a massive circadian impact on our health. In fact, research shows quite clearly, scientists, just to put it on the record, scientists absolutely hate the time clock change. And the reason why they hate it is because of the impact that it has on us biologically. Now, you might think 1 hour is just a minor discrepancy, but... research shows that heart attacks and stroke go up astronomically in these times at both ends of the clock. More car accidents. Insurance companies will tell you there's more car accidents at each end of the time shift change as well. So I want to pose the question, and I want people to call us in.
133693.
Would you rather stay on summertime or would you rather stay on standard time, but it's going to stay that forever?
And why?
And why would you want to do that? Now, I want to talk about the impact of both. If you were to stay on summertime, you got to remember here in Victoria, not so much in like Queensland or WA, but here in Victoria, it wouldn't get light until probably 9:30 in the morning if you stayed on summertime, because your clock has been moved.
Would it be that late?
Yep, because as we get into the depth of winter, the clock would leave us in the dark until later. Welcome to living in London or the UK, because that's what it would be like.
So kids would be going to school in the dark at 7:30 in the morning?
Oh, everyone would be going to work and going to... So that would be one impact. So while we think of summertime today because it's light early, you know, we're coming out of summertime now here in Victoria, whereas West Australia, there's no change. But at the moment, we're coming out. It's starting to get a bit darker in the mornings now. So like you would notice when you're driving home, it's darker, whereas in the middle of summer, it's light. Now, I want you to remember that we're going to be on this permanent. So in the middle of winter, you would find that it's going to be dark a lot later, but it won't be light later because the clock, because of the length of the day is shorter as well. I personally think, well, science... Actually, I'll talk about what science tells us towards the end. I'll tell you what science tells us we should do.
Okay. Well, let's find out what people think. 133693. So the question is, just to get the feedback, wherever you are, right across Australia, but certainly in Victoria in particular, I guess.
Yes, it'd be Victoria in particular.
So for our South Australian listeners, WA I think have left us. So for our South Australian listeners and the ACE Radio Network right across Victoria, and for 3AW listeners, 133693. The question is,
Would you rather stay on standard time?
Standard time.
Or would you rather stay permanently on summertime?
On summertime all year round.
Permanently.
Permanently.
Yeah. Once we shift the clock, we never change it again.
Because it's the change that's disruptive.
It's the changing.
It's not the hours per se, it's the change.
The hours, well, we're going to it's a spoiler alert. The hours do actually make a big change for us as well.
Okay, so then how do we know which is the more preferable version of it?
Science tells us.
Oh, okay. Marky Install, you wanted your right of reply. Say hello to Roger.
Morning, Roger.
Morning,
I heard you talking about FIFO. Like, I was an interstate truck driver for over 35 years. The hardest thing I ever found was my last job doing Melbourne-Perth.
Yes.
4 time zones. Keep it standard time.
Why was it 4 time zones?
Because it did play with your mind.
Why was it 4 time zones?
Just as you go up Majura Pass, half an hour, 20 minutes later, adjust your clock forward a half an hour. There is 4 time zones going across there.
I didn't realise that. No, I thought there was 3. But anyway.
So there's Victoria, South Australia and WA.
And there's this little bit in between that says adjust your clock.
Right. Okay.
Yeah. Interesting.
Yeah.
We can't keep it on the same time across the globe, though. That's the problem. We can't do that because we need to have a different time across the globe. But we're talking about in the one spot.
133693. Tom Mandelizer, what do you think?
A quick pause from today's topic for something vital for every shift worker. That's right, that's you. Now, you know the relentless grind, constant fatigue, struggles with sleep, and that feeling your energy just isn't where it should be. And this is a common story in 24/7 roles, but it just doesn't have to be your workforces. At A Healthy Shift, I've combined 4 decades of frontline experience with cutting-edge science to create the seminar experience. Now, this isn't just a basic workshop. It's a comprehensive, game-changing program that is built to give entire workforces actionable strategies that they need to truly master their well-being on any schedule. And they're implemented immediately. Now, beyond the powerful core keynote, I offer specialised add-on workshops which dive deep into women and shift work, fatigue management, and how to work your own roster. Now, these tools empower your colleagues to thrive, improve performance, and boost their health, helping your organisation to retain valuable staff. Now, if you believe your workforce deserves better, speak up, because your managers won't know about this vital resource. Click the link in the show notes, download the e-brochure, and put it up the line. Invest in your team's most valuable asset, their health.
Oh, g'day, fellas. Look, I'm old enough to remember when, in about 1972, maybe 71, it came in first, summertime, and it went for 3 months because it went from about 1st of December to about 1st of Feb. Mm-hmm. And that seemed to be long enough. Yes. I've noticed over that 50-odd years or longer, I'm interested in what the research says, and in those days, Sunday used to be almost everything shut.
Yes.
And the society seems saner. I know that sounds a bit crazy, but it's getting kids, as I grew up, getting kids to bed, your own kids to bed, getting them a good night's sleep, functioning in schools. The whole thing, I think, is now, we're at 6 months. I think it's far too long. I would like to see it go. It operated for thousands of years before this. I'm not quite sure what the great benefit is, except keeping people up and denying them sleep.
Tom, you are absolutely 100% accurate in every single thing you've just said. Getting kids to bed, we are creating mental health disorders with more and more light in a person's day. Yeah. So you spoke about ADHD and using CBD oil for that earlier. I heard you speaking about that on air when I was driving in. ADHD, we are not getting our light diet right. We need to get our light diet right as a priority. People need to start blocking blue. And what Tom has raised here with kids in school, massive problem. There's so many different issues around us changing these clocks all the time. And Tom, I really admire that, what you've said there, because 6 months is too long. 3 months is probably not long enough. It's just enough to disrupt. Get rid of it.
It is that sense of disruption for a lot. However, gardeners, for example, love it because they're out in the garden until 9 o'clock at night during the summer months.
But that's not good for your health.
I know
you can say it's good for your health being around the green light, but it's too much light.
Anthony in Pakenham, what do you think?
Good morning, gentlemen. The caller regarding the 4 time zones to Perth is correct. The town of Ceduna is on what they call Central West Standard Time. It's 45 minutes ahead of Perth.
Very interesting.
Weird, though.
I was unaware of that.
For what reason?
I think it's because it's so far away from... probably the same reason why China is on one time zone.
Yes.
You know, because there'll be so much... I mean, you've got kids going to school in pitch black out in the western part of China.
Yes.
And they're they go to school in lights in places like Beijing. But the effects of daylight saving occur as more you go south. Like you go to Brisbane in summer, it's black by 7 o'clock, and it's fully and it's sunlight by 4:30 in the morning. The further south you go, the more effect you have. In Hobart, they're playing district cricket at 9 o'clock at night.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, that's right.
That's a very good point.
Too much light.
Too much light for you. Roger, have you ever thought about standing as a candidate for politics? You'd be perfect to sort out various issues.
I don't know if my opinions count, but yeah.
Well, no, everybody's opinion counts.
Yeah.
We've got to do this. We'll have a quick touch base with, I think we're going to talk to Shane Bassett very quickly for an Oscar preview, which gets underway very shortly. For those callers that are waiting, promise you we'll get to you next. It's all part of Australia Overnight. We're looking at the idea, those time zones, based on what Roger has asserted. What do you reckon? Look at that. Eastern State should adopt the South Australian Standard Time permanently. No daylight saving time. Shane Bassett, who contributes to the program, usually on a Friday, but it's a big morning coming up. I think it starts at 10. Oscars this morning, Channel 7?
Good morning. Can't wait. Actually, the ceremony will start at 11 and the red carpet will kick off about 9:30 a.m.
What are we going to look for in terms of winners?
Definitely. I've got one battle after another cleaning up. It's got 13 nominations, and I think it'll win 8 or 9 of those. There might be a few upsets with Sinners, which has sort of had some momentum coming into this. Sinners has broken a record with 16 nominations, so that's pretty massive because, Titanic had 14, so that's even 2 more than Titanic. I do believe the Australians are going to need a miracle to win. Unfortunately, we've got a few nominated, but it's going to be tough for them. Rose Byrne in actress, Jacob Elordi supporting actor, Frankenstein. He is probably our biggest chance if there is going to be an upset. Nick Cave, best original song for Train Dreams, and we've also got some Aussies in some artistry sections, the production design and visual effects, which they're part of an ensemble group nominated to Sinners and Hamnet. But we'll see what happens there.
It'd be great for Shane. Thank you for that. It'd be great with Nick Cave to get up here. Much loved Nick Cave. What a genius he is. Shane, thank you, my friend. Sorry, we've got to move on. In Morford Vale, Nicholas, say hello to Roger.
Hey, Roger.
Morning, Nicholas.
I was thinking, you know how the AFL are changing the rules and they're trying to change the rules in their game?
Yep.
Now we're trying to change the timeline of our country. I don't believe that's correct.
No, I don't think we're trying to do it, Nicholas. In fairness, we're not trying to do that.
No, we're not trying to change the time. We're just asking. I believe, and science will tell us, we need to go back to standard time and stay there permanently. There's the answer.
Thank you for that. Tommy, you get up nice and early most days. Say hello to Rog.
Morning, Tommy.
Hello, Roger and T-Mac, mate. What do you mean most days, T-Mac? I'm up early every morning.
Every morning,
It's 4:30, 4:45, but it's pretty simple. When you said a big day's coming up, T-Mac? I thought you were correct because America plays Dominican Republican today at 11 o'clock.
Thank you. We'll be watching that very closely. Do you love the idea of the time zones and the daylight saving or not, or it doesn't bother you, Tommy?
Well, what it is, T-Mac, it's just a time. So it doesn't matter. Like in summer, like I just said, at 5 o'clock it's light, AM, but it doesn't matter, T-Mac. It's just a time. So we don't work on the time. Whatever it is has to be done at that time of day. That's what gets done, mate. So
no, I disagree.
We all like a bit of light at the end.
Yeah, Tommy,
we all like a little bit of light at the end.
Tommy, can I just say quickly, don't look at the clock on the wall. It's the body clock that has the problem. That's the issue.
You think it's...
It's not the time on the wall. It's never the time on the wall. It's the time in the body clock.
The body clock. Tommy, we're going to fly through some of these. Ian Adelaide. Hello, Sandy. What do you think?
How are you? Yeah, I either keep it one way or the other. I'm a truck driver as well.
Yep.
And, when it first starts, you get up at 2 o'clock and 3 o'clock in the morning, you get up at 2 o'clock, so it stuffs your body. And then at the end, you get used to it. And at the end of the day, you're tired because you're waking up at 2 o'clock instead of 3 o'clock, and you end of the day, and you can't get back to sleep because your body clock's used to it. So
that's right.
Keep it one way or the other.
Agreed. Yeah. So standard time is the safest, and science tells us that standard time is the best way to go, and the way that we should be going. Do you know, I was going to say one thing too, T-Mac. Do you know time zone states in the US that go to summertime and states that don't next to it, even though they're across the border, the health differences between the two communities is well documented. Those that are not on summertime are so much healthier than those that are.
Which is intriguing, really. Andy, we will come... No, we haven't got time for Andy. No? Okay, we've got to do this. All right, sorry, Jay. Thank you. We're trying to race as much as we possibly can. Look at him out there, waves his arms around, telling us what to do.
Telling us off.
Time.
I know.
That? Huh?
You'd think he was in charge.
And look at all these wonderful texts that we just haven't got to as well. We will get to them the other side of this. Don't forget, Ross and Russ, live this morning, Castlemaine.
Castlemaine.
Oh, be fantastic. Wonder if they've still got the Castlemaine rock.
I don't know. Castlemaine rock was delicious. Great for dentists.
Russ, can you bring some beautiful Castlemaine rock home for us?
The red and the blue, and we sing this song to you. Should old acquaintance be?
Come on, sing along if you know the words. Russell, love this. Good on you, Russ and Russ there at Castlemaine. Roger, thank you.
Thank you very much for having me.
I'm Tony Mack. For all we know, we may never meet again. May our hands only ever be held out in friendship, never in what?